Welcome to 108 Dragons, baby. This is your first podcast coming from us. This is called the Dragons Den. You're going to have many more to come. I told you I got a special guest with me, my man Snow. He representing Ignorant Gamers. He's going to give y'all a little overview of his channel. And I'm going to have all his information down in the description.
Like you said, your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers in the house. How you doing? How you living? How you gaming? If you don't already know, G stands for gamers. Basically on our channel, we do pretty much the same thing. We got the vlogs going on. We got the gaming reviews. We talk about gaming topics. We got a lot of podcasts coming as well. And every now and then we like to shove you people with the gameplay because, you know, got to have the gameplay in there.
Definitely.
And, yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I want to get to the topics.
Now the topics I told y'all we was going to cover. We was going to cover Scorpio. We're going to go into the specs. We're going to talk about what it's going to do for the industry and what can the competition do to combat the power of the Scorpio and what they might bring. Right now we don't know about no games or pricing, but right now the industry and gamers, whether they like it or dislike it, the industry's in the uproar. So that's what we're here to talk about.
Competition is good.
You first, son.
Well, before I even get into that, thank you for having me on your show.
No problem.
Hey,
Scott made me a little bit.
A little something.
Taught me a lot, my man.
And so the specs for the Scorpio, right? They came out hard hitting. We had speculations. We got official words now. 6 teraflops. All the flops. I know a lot of people, they like to pretend that they know what the flops mean. We're not touching that. We're going to let that go. We're going to keep it on layman's term. Put it like this. It's 4.6 times stronger than what's available in the original Xbox One.
Definitely.
More textures, better games, better frame rates. The CPU.
Completely faster.
Completely faster. I believe it's 40 or 30%, something like that. But what makes that, it don't sound a lot right now. Excuse me, I'm a little bit of a tech guy. I like to go into that a little bit. What makes that better is they removed that, remember that DX12 thing that all the fanboys were crying about? DX12. Well, they took it out of the chip. They put it in the GPU. This gives the chip more power. Even though it's 30% better than the last one, it's still significantly better. You take some of that torque off of it. Put the torque somewhere else.
Less for the computer to do.
Less for the computer to do.
Right.
And that's what you want because the CPU is going to handle AI. And if it ain't got to try to render AI and the graphics, that means it can do better AI stuff.
Definitely.
Who doesn't want that, right? Definitely. As a gamer. This is good for gaming. The RAM.
RAM is basically based on 4 gigabytes for the system, 8 gigabytes for the developer. That's 3 more gigs than it is for over the current PS4s and Xboxes. So
right.
That's basically for the 4K textures.
And it means on the OS side, everything should be smooth as eggs. There should be no hiccups. On both these consoles, you know, if you push them, you get the little spinning thing and those things taking a little bit. And at the same time, the internet kind of ruins that experience on both consoles.
Definitely.
But this should help combat some of that. You know what I mean? And then, do we want to talk about the fans?
It's up to you.
Don't worry about no red ring stuff. Let's just put it like that. Anyone worried about that, you ain't seeing it now, you ain't going to see it later. Let's just put it like that. And ain't no little wood right here. Knock on wood, because I don't want that to ever happen again. And mind you, I'm a PlayStation guy.
Yeah, he's PlayStation heavy. PlayStation fighting game heavy. King of Fighters man right here.
Yeah, a little something. I'm kind of losing a little bit. The hand gets a little cramped up sometimes. You know what I mean?
Now, we know it's easy to program. We know it's powerful.
x86, yep.
I have a problem.
Okay, where's the problem?
We really need to know a price because as the hardcore we are, we second guessing what can they come to the market with. They're in a losing position.
Right.
They can't come out and kill people's pockets and then want people to cross over. People don't even know how to spell half these specs.
Right. People don't even know what half these specs
people
are.
still
They don't even know what
going to the Ave buying 720p TVs. Talking about they got a deal.
This is true.
So what can they do to get this product in people's homes convincingly?
I mean, they have to do a lot of feature-based touting. This is where you start at. You have to tell the people why this is a value. And first off, you have to have a clear understanding of who your customer is. This customer is the core customer. the core customer and the people who like to have flame bait, whether you're on the PlayStation side, the Nintendo side, or the Xbox side. So what that means is, you wanted power, here you go, but it's going to cost you. It might cost you a little, might cost you a lot, but it's going to cost you. You want 4K gaming? On my channel, I've been saying this for about a year, maybe 2 years. You don't want 4K gaming on your console. Why? Because the price is going to go up. With the prices going up, you guys already don't want to buy games.
Ain't that the truth?
You already don't want to buy $60 games. And if you've been gaming as long as me and this guy have, we've been doing it since when there was no MSRP. Which means people bought Street Fighter 2, the original Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo, $85 to $116 in the 90s.
That's a fact.
Then when the MSRP came, they said, all right, look, we're not having this no more. $50. Then everybody cried when it went up $60. Everything else is going up. Everything else is going up. Your entertainment's going up. Your cost of living is going up. Our money don't go up with most of our jobs.
That is true.
What has stayed the same for the longest? This $60 price range. Mm-hmm. You don't see the little microtransactions that they do. You don't see that EA. I'm like, I gotta pick on EA. EA, every game EA puts out right now, even if it's single player, right? Here's the $59.99 and here's this $69.99 thing that gives you some stuff earlier. The price of the games right now is supposed to be at $70. But no one is going to budge at $70 because you guys already don't want to pay $60.
We also got to talk about these developmental costs. Destiny cost them $500 million.
Listen, well, the $500 million part is also in part of the marketing.
Yeah, that's still a lot of money.
That's where most of that came from. It was the marketing. It's a lot of money. But this is why studios have been closing. This is why people who used to be publishers are only developers now.
Or indie.
You know what I mean? So what would be the price for such a powerful, the most powerful console announced to date? When this arrives, it's going to double, if not triple, the lap of the PS4 Pro. By default, it came last. When the Xbox OG joined the system wars, it was the strongest by default. Why? Because you came with 2 years left on the contract.
Yeah, definitely.
So, on my channel, I said 600. My boy Rizza, my partner who I do this with, he said 650. As I explained to you, 650, something 50 never works. It's either a 0 or a 9. Like 99 or a 00.
My take...
They can't do 600.
My take on it, I think $499 the most, because they could buy Sony like 5 times over. They could afford to take the hit. And I'm an avid Xbox player. I'm a tech guy, and $600, I'm not buying it.
Right. Now I said 600.
I mean, I'll buy it, but I won't be leaving happy.
I'm speculating 600, but I'm saying 500.
Yeah, that's a tough. And
500 is still a tough call. It's still a tough call, but you have to provide the value. It's like the Apple method. Them phones, the Apple MacBook Pro ain't worth it. Them towers ain't worth that price if you are doing a specific thing. But because they say it is and they don't budge, you have to buy it. Now, what can they do to improve the 500 or even improve the 400?
Package deal.
The package deals. Or
trading program.
A trading program will work. Or we got backwards compatibility with the Xbox One. Why is that important? Is this a future-proofing thing? You got the backwards compatibility with the 360. Also going to what the Scorpio is going to be. Okay, that's great. Can they get the original Xbox in there too? I don't know. That would help.
That would help. That
would help tremendously. People who use their stuff as a media center, can we have a better experience? Oh, okay. There's also that, what is it, the UHD 4K player thing, drive? That's coming as well.
That's in there also again.
You know, what else can they do? Is the DVR function coming back? I assume so. It's part of the thing, right?
4K DVR.
Yeah, 4K DVR now, right? Mm-hmm. So what else can they do? Can they throw a faster hard drive? Done.
Yeah.
1 terabyte standard, a faster hard drive than even the Elite.
Custom.
The Elite, custom
hard
because
drive.
the Elite is the fastest hard drive. What else can they do? Well, you could unplug your external hard drive and put it in your Scorpio. That's done. What else can you do? Well, all your peripherals, your headsets, and anything else, including the Kinect,
Plugs
can
right
go.
in.
Now,
That's
they
right.
haven't really said the Kinect. I'm speculating on the Kinect.
No. They said
it?
with the
I
same
haven't seen
adapter
it.
you use
Same
for
adapter?
S, same adapter.
There you go. I don't want the adapter, though. I want the
got
whole.
it.
I want the whole.
No,
I don't want the
they-
adapter.
Nah, they got the.
There's a reason why I want the whole, man. I feel like the whole is
More
because it's
consistent.
native.
Right,
it's more
right,
consistent. You
right,
know what I mean?
right, yeah.
And I hate using unnecessary USB ports
And power.
and power. Oh, the power that goes through is definitely enough to keep everything charged.
Definitely.
Everything charged, so you won't see a problem there. You know what I mean? And they was able to get it in the same cables because initially it would have had to been a thicker cable. So, shout out to the engineers on Xbox with that.
Well, even though the price is going to be reasonably high, they came out with another feature today with the 2.1 with
Yes.
the V-Sync to the TVs, which these current 4K TVs do not do. It's going to take it's the next gen HDMI feature, but that definitely guarantees that the system's future proof.
Right.
So when you get those next gen TVs, like people buying TVs with the 2.1 A jacks or B, you will have the Scorpio will be ready. So there won't be no button lag. You ain't got to worry about your TV responses time because there won't be any.
Right.
So that's another key.
That's a great
but that
feature.
also still raised my eyebrows of
How
does
much
that
is
bring
it
that
gonna
cost up?
Right.
Because
Right.
I'm like, this dude Rich from Digital Foundry just keeps coming out with new information every day in a video, and you like, okay,
Right.
that sounds good, but does that raise the price? Nobody wants to say. So we're gonna pay attention to E3 big time.
Here's
because
the easy
that's gonna
answer
be
to
it.
know if that's going to raise the price. When those TVs hit, look at everything spec for spec, and then see what's the difference. And if that jack, that 2.1 is the difference, and it rolls the price up, not because it's new, not because the technology is new, just that HDMI port, there's the answer to your question.
But you also know that brings that 18 gigabytes transfer data up to 48 gigabytes of transfer
Right.
data.
Now-
so I don't know if it doesn't raise it, but that's definitely talking 8K figures through
Absolutely.
there.
The other thing
That's gonna do
I
it.
want to jump back to the GPU, where I think it's 356 on the graphics card can have a big bandwidth now, right, to give you those 4K textures. So your older games are going to get an automatic bump. Like the PlayStation Pro had to release software for a boost mode. This is coming out the box. And
Like the S does that too.
like the S does, right? So it's coming out the box, and these are the kind of things that Microsoft has to make sure that they politely and delicately put it out there to the public, like, hey, you guys asked for this. Here it is. We delivered. Get your bars up.
Well, they definitely can't do what they did with the first Xbox reveal,
Ah, well.
because everything they talked about, the PlayStation still don't do.
Right.
Picture playing your games, the putting the cable to your thing, and all those media features. Because both systems, I just was talking about this, both features feature some type of cable integration or outside media,
Right.
but they can't come out. Nobody want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Dudes want to see what the games are going to perform, and
Yeah.
they want to see,
Yeah.
like if you watch a show or whatever, you can't look at the TV and say that game looks better when it's in 4K because your TV can't display what it looks like. You have to see it side by side.
Right.
My thing is drop them kiosks in the store right next to the PlayStation versions
I
and
agree.
say this is what our game looks like and look at this.
Right.
Because you only can tell standing there.
Right. And it has to be the same game. And,
So how are they going to get that point across at E3?
Well,
You're only going to get word of mouth.
So here's what you do. The Xbox One is inferior to the PlayStation 4. The Xbox One S is also inferior to the PlayStation 4 Pro. You don't even talk about the PlayStation. You put your Scorpio next to your One. You're subliminally taking a shot at the Pro by doing that.
That might work.
Off the gate. Because you look at a game like, and I've seen this, Final Fantasy, right? Before they put the patch out for the Pro, I touched it on the Xbox One. I have it on the PlayStation 4. And I was like, okay, yeah, they did a good job. great job. It's passable. It could work. We're talking about gameplay at the end of the day, right? Cool. When I played it on the Pro, I'd rather been playing it standard until they made the patch. So even when they made the patch, it was like, that wouldn't justify my Pro price. I don't own a Pro. That wouldn't justify my Pro price by seeing those two comparisons. Okay, so how much different is it? Well, guess how much different it will be when that game is upscaled on the Scorpio. Because I saw what it could do with the Pro, but the Pro is still bottlenecked.
Right.
So you take a game like, you can go back to Tomb Raider if they wanted to, right? You take the 360 version, you take the unlocked one version, which now if it's unlocked, that means you get the full on the when it goes to the Scorpio.
Scorpio, right.
Put that game on the Scorpio. You see what it do. One to one. You watch the history of Lara Croft and you watch the history of what the Scorpio is about to do with their technology.
And being that it's custom and it's new, nobody don't really know exactly, but from what the tests have done, it's crazy.
So you can play it from a third-party angle, which I just outlined, or you could just say, look, listen, because I already know the next issue is going to be, what about the games? Look, they're coming.
Well,
they want to bring back. See, this is the misconception with Xbox. Yes, it's the Halo box. Yes, it's the Forza box. It wasn't originally the Forza box. It became the Forza box, right? Yes, it's the Gears box. It wasn't originally the Gears box. It's two failed things that happened that made Gears what it is to this day. Fable, right? Okay, cool. Let's chill out on that. What was the other things? Ghosts. Rainbow.
I'm gonna tell you what the main thing is.
Call of Duty.
What made Xbox online?
Right, but that's the point.
Online.
You get what I'm saying? So those third-party games that were eating on the console had the better versions of the game on their console.
Also, right.
So now the better version means it's not the same version as before. See, when the PlayStation 2 had Ghosts, it ain't look like Xbox.
No, it didn't.
It ain't look like Xbox. You know what I mean? You just had the crosshair. So now you got the full body and we doing what we doing. Okay. We can't do that difference no more. But what we can do is everything's buttery, and that's what all the Scorpio has to do is show it buttery. That's it.
And the textures.
That's it. Where the textures apply, yeah. But everything else, buttery. You put the Scorpio on top of your S. You take the wires out and you put them in. It don't get no easier than that.
It damn sure don't. I was shocked when they said that. I was like, what?
It doesn't get no easier than that. Is this an upgrade? Yes, with a huge asterisk.
Yeah. It's not. Well, I don't call it an upgrade because it's not built like the Xbox at all. See, the PlayStation 4 Pro is a PlayStation.
It's an upgrade.
With a GPU and 1 gig of RAM for the software side.
Right.
But that Xbox, the Scorpio don't have nothing the Xbox One S or the One got.
Absolutely. But you understand what I'm doing though, right?
Yeah.
They have to position it as an upgrade. Because they can't say...
That's a real upgrade.
They can't say, this is the next thing in next-gen gaming. No, you can't do that. Because then that in the public eye, oh yeah, these guys were losing, so they wanted to start the next generation.
Right.
Which this is actually what it is. We can get... The specs on this thing says that. There's nothing outside of that says that it isn't. But they can't say that.
All the tests ran, it's outperforming ultra settings on PC in a closed box. That is crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And I think people, I'm trying not to get too techie. People don't realize that when you put this software together inside of a PC, there's other factors involved into not being able to get the best out of it. Although you can with your overclocking of the graphics card and the CPU, blah, blah, blah. But when you put it in a confined box, and this box is being built for this specific thing, it can have the same numbers, but they can crank out so much more. They can get so much more megahertz, they can get so much more voltage, they can get so much more out of it where it doesn't have to pay attention to a Windows update or a Mac update. Whoever games on a Mac, kill yourself. And, anything like that. It doesn't have to deal with any of that stuff. That's like the Steam boxes. there's certain stuff in the Steam box. And you look at those specs, it's like, no, I can just buy my PC and build it. Well, guess what? The Steam box is working specifically for gaming, so 100% of the resources is going into that. That's what you get with a console. 100% of the resources going to 100% of the game. The Linux works as well, right? I was trying to avoid that. You know what I mean? I don't want to introduce that word. You know what I mean? So with the numbers today in the Scorpio, it's going to help with some type of future proofing. You know what I mean? And not future proofing like down the line, meaning like, no, when they are legally able to say, oh, these guys over here creating a PlayStation 5, we ain't got to do all that. Just buy the game regular.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Now, what do you think Sony stand on it? Because 2 of their developers said it was an upgrade. I know that's, what you call it?
Said what is an upgrade?
The Scorpio. 2 developers said it wasn't an upgrade.
I'm with them.
But they're saying it like it's cheap upgrade, not like it's not a. They saying it like it was nothing.
Oh nah. That's either lost in translation or somebody over at Sony is smoking some ooh-wee.
Well, as I answered in the comments over the weekend, I told guys they're gonna have to keep pushing these games, and they can't bullshit us and not put a game out that they showed 2 years ago and talking about we got another 2 years. Spider-Man has to drop this year. It's been talked about 2000. This year. They talked about 2017.
It's not dropping this year.
Days Gone, God of War, Last of Us, Lost. What was it? Lost Chronicles, Lost Odysseys. What is that?
Yeah, that's DLC though.
Nah, that's a 10-hour long content.
It's 10-hour long DLC.
You think so?
It's not a game.
They're releasing it separately.
Of course, because if you didn't buy my original game, I still want you to buy it.
Oh, definitely.
Think about, I could buy. There's certain
like Infamous.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I think they just got to keep up with the games at this point.
And like the Last of Us, that other one, you could have just bought that separately. You didn't have to buy Last of Us on the PS3. There was a separate thing that came out where if you didn't own the game, you could still have bought that. And the same thing with The Witcher.
I don't think Nintendo comes into this argument because as Nintendo, they don't give a shit about hardware.
Hold on, I want to go back to PlayStation real quick.
Okay.
What they kind of have to do is keep doing what they've been doing until it's time to do a PS5.
And it won't be 2019.
It better not be 2019
because they're crazy.
Because I'm a cheap bastard. I got the paper. I'm just a cheap bastard. So you got to keep delivering the games. You have to deliver the quality of games. Right. If you're gonna do the quantity. To the quality.
They got quantity now, and
right,
it's not moving.
Right.
But
software in general across the board is down. There's only your special ones.
Right. True indeed.
There's only your special ones. True indeed. And in fact, Halo is successful not upon units sold, but upon transactions. That's where the same thing with Grand Theft Auto. Yes, their numbers are up, but their transactions is, oh my god, it's like 1 billion. It's going to be 1 billion soon. Who knows? They over 500 million just on transactions.
Kids do college with that game.
By the way, by the time you see this video, Xbox One 50% off GTA. So
that's right.
Yeah. You got to say that because GTA
the sale started today, 67% off, 10% if you're a gold member.
Absolutely. So that's what the PlayStation has to do. They have to keep drilling their numbers, keep drilling their games, keep providing value in the games, adopt the Steam method some more. They're doing it, but they're not doing it at the Steam sale method some more. Keep up with their clever advertisement and prepare to take an L with GT Sport.
Damn you hard.
I'm a consumer first.
Facts.
I'm a consumer first.
That's what I tell these guys all the time. This channel is about the gamer in our pockets.
I have preference. But I'm not silly. I own an Xbox One. I own a 360. I own a PS3. Still currently. I own a P4 obviously. I didn't buy the Pro. You want an argument for that? I'll let him interview me on that later. Why I didn't buy the Pro. Because he tried to get me to buy a Pro.
I sure did. It looks good. It looks damn good. I couldn't go back to the PlayStation.
Now, as far as the Switch is concerned, Nintendo do what Nintendo does. And Nintendo just need to ignore and get their software together. And that's it.
I think Nintendo just got to put out Nintendo shit.
Absolutely.
Right now, they got people buying, not in large quantity. people are picking up games they just normally wouldn't pick up because there ain't nothing to pick up.
You got this thing. What I'm gonna buy? If right now, if I was an indie developer or a double A, I would have had my game ready for the Switch.
1,000 indies in development is kind of crazy. And they don't have hard drive space. And they talking about no cartridges.
Screw them. I would have had a game like Sniper Elite level. They never come out at AAA price. I would have had a game like that where my game is great quality, great gameplay, new franchise, and I'm gonna put it on the Switch, and you guys gonna get this work. We'll worry about the other details later, but because there's nothing ready, I'm gonna be ready. I'm inside. You guys gonna buy my game because you got nothing else to play.
They got a Nintendo Direct this week also.
That's gonna be interesting.
Possibly Thursday. They talking about ARMS and I think Mario.
Come on, you really trying to play ARMS?
You're
not really. He is, but you're not really trying to play ARMS. You're gonna buy ARMS because you got nothing else to play. Therefore, you would buy my game.
Just don't buy 1-2 Switch. Don't. I can't even demo it no more. I'm done.
We could do a whole video of why that should have been included.
Yeah, it should have just been free, man. What was it? $50?
I ain't say free.
No.
But yeah, $50.
It was $50. Right?
Yeah, $50. Nah. I would have hit him with the Drive Club.
Nah. Nah. Son.
I would have hit him with the Drive Club.
Nah.
Here's this Plus edition, and then you want the rest of it, you gotta pay $40 instead of paying $50 when you buy it through the program. That's what I would have did.
No more input. Yeah. So what I was saying was I'm gonna have ignorant gamers on the show as much frequently as possible because this man got a ton of information for everybody out there. I want everybody to know. Log in, sign up, like and subscribe to this Ignorant Gamers channel.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate this guy for stopping through. We in my humble abode right now trying to get this podcast popping, the first podcast. So you get up there, you like and subscribe. Y'all gonna see my grandson popping again a couple more times this week on these episodes. I appreciate everybody in them 10,000 views I caught this weekend. And them plenty of minute watch. Y'all stayed and watched the whole thing. They watched the whole thing. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm out here working hard. And tomorrow I'm going to have some more gaming news. Try to get this up ASAP because everybody was hitting me for it on Twitter. You want to follow me on Twitter, 108DRAGONSTV at that @ on Twitter. Tell me how to follow.
Ignorant Gamers with a Z at the end, across the board, everywhere.
Yeah, we two big light-skinned guys. This is what we do. Stay tuned for more. We gangster like that. We out here.
Peace.